Summer is right around the corner, and you know what that means. It's vacation time. Here at Dublin Nissan, we can get you ready for vacation, whether it's a new Nissan or Chevrolet or just servicing your current vehicle. And guys, if you're looking for a new fishing truck, you can't go wrong with this all-new 22 Frontier. And if your needs are bigger, we got the trucks for you too. It's your choice. I know what mine is. Remember, Don sells Corvettes well. Hurry in to Dublin Chevy Nissan.
The City of Dublin, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Your city to live, work, and play.
Hello everyone, and welcome out to Middle Georgia Allergy and Asthma. We're here with Dr. Rodney Johnson. You'll recognize him from many times before. Doctor, thank you so much for having us in. I know this is a very busy time of year for you with allergy and asthma season.
It is. In fact, May is National Allergy and Asthma Month, and the pollen levels have been up, and lots of folks been having some problems with their asthma and their allergies.
Yeah. If we could start out, Doctor, maybe you let everyone know the difference between allergies and asthma.
Sure. So I tell people allergies, a lot of people recognize it as problems with their nose. So they have itchiness and sneezing and runniness, but they can also have it of their eyes. And so you'll get some congestion and some redness and inflammation on the inside of the nose, and that causes some stopped up nose and all these symptoms that are terrible with allergies.
Yeah.
And asthma is kind of a similar process, but it's in the tubes of the lungs, and so you get that congestion, you get that redness, you get that swelling, and so you get different symptoms, but the underlying swelling and inflammation is on the inside of the lungs, and then you get the coughing, the wheezing, the shortness of breath, and so there's some similarities, but also some differences as well.
Yeah, so to clarify, that really is what is needed, and they would need to come in for an office visit with you to really determine what their issue is.
That's right. So many times people can have these symptoms that sound like asthma, sound like allergies, and technically not be either one, but many times it can be just undertreated asthma or allergies as well.
Doctor, as a child, there are many children who have issues, whether it be with allergies or asthma. What do you tell people when they should bring a child in and have them checked out?
Well, allergies, it's kind of like that you're born with it. The term is called genetic predisposition. And so many times kids will have this, they call it the allergic march. They'll begin with skin symptoms and have a rash and have eczema, and then sometimes they'll develop the nasal symptoms next, and sometimes they develop the asthma and coughing and wheezing next, and then even food allergies can happen around the same time. So once you see someone that has problems with skin, these kind of skin rashes, this itching, or any nasal or breathing problems, and that's the time that they may need to be evaluated by an allergist.
Yeah, Doctor, when we look at that and we look at the care of our children and adults as well, when we change locations we're in sometimes, we could go from here to Savannah, here to Maine, we could go from one person's house to another, and it seems that sometimes we get nasally, or a child will start to have more of a runny nose and have symptoms like that. What causes that? Well,
so as I mentioned, some people with allergies are kind of born with this disposition to develop these kind of symptoms, but the underlying sort of trigger that causes all this inflammation many times is pollen, but it can be also dust or mold or pets. But this time of year, it's mainly the pollen that's outside that's triggering the symptoms for sure.
Yeah. Is it worse this year?
It actually seems to be worse this year. I have noticed a lot of folks coming in with more severe and symptoms of their asthma and their nasal symptoms, and this year is a little bit different than some of the previous years. This year, the temperature seemed to kind of stay the same for a while, and normally we see kind of this cooler temperature, and then all of a sudden we get warm and or even hot temperatures, and all the pollen comes at once. But this year, the pollen didn't really get a spike spike. You kind of got this high level, but it stayed high ever since mid-February.
Yeah.
And I think that might be causing in some people, causing more problems this year.
Yeah. And so let's talk about the difference in last year, I guess, and maybe the year before, where we're looking at a situation with COVID more so, obviously. No one vaccinated and what have you. Did that affect people during COVID as far as wearing masks? Did it help them with their allergies?
I don't know if there's any studies on exactly if the masks now the K95 mask for sure, that would definitely help with pollen allergies. But as far as the regular cloth masks, there's probably not a whole lot of filtration with particularly one of the smaller allergens such as mold or cat, and I don't think it probably would have been super effective for some of the smaller allergens. Maybe somewhat a little bit effective for some of the larger allergens such as dust, but you kind of need a HEPA air filter to filter out the pollen. So I didn't notice a big difference, and I don't think a lot of people noticed a big difference either.
Yeah. And so when we look at that, and obviously during that period, and even now, some people would worry, hey, these symptoms, what is this? Is it COVID? Is it allergies, asthma? How do we determine that?
Except besides fever, it's going to be pretty similar. So it can be difficult to tell. Particularly with the Omicron variant, you're going to get milder symptoms of sneezing and runny nose and postnasal drip. You probably won't get very much of sort of muscle aches and pains, and you won't get fever. But with COVID, you're going to get the symptoms and just kind of go away after maybe 2 weeks or so. But with allergies, you're going to continue to have symptoms during the season. So if you can continue to have these symptoms throughout the month or the season, start thinking allergies and maybe see an allergist.
Yeah. Now, Dr. Johnson, when we look at ways to better improve our chances of not being affected by allergies, especially, what does one do around the house? What's a good lifestyle?
The most common indoor allergen is dust allergy or dust mite allergy, and they really like to live in the pillows, in the mattress, in the box springs, and the carpet. So they have these dust mite encasements that you can use for the pillows and mattress and box spring, and that's helpful. Sometimes a little bit less practical is getting rid of all the carpet in the home, but that will help. A lot of folks here in the Southeast use humidifiers. Not need dehumidifier here in the Southeast. It's always plenty humid. And one of the things that helps dust mites continue to live is lots of humidity. And so keeping the humidity levels low, around 50%. Around the pollen kind of issue, doors, windows closed. Keeping the HEPA air filter running in the home, that can also help too. But those are some of the things that you can do in the home.
All right, so if one has issues, if they'd like to just get checked out, maybe find out what's going on with them or a child or maybe a senior adult starting to have problems, how do they get in touch with you, doctor?
They can call here at the office anytime, and we're available and to have folks come in and we'll see what's causing their problems. They can get allergies skin tested to find out exactly what particularly they're allergic to, and then most importantly, potentially immunotherapy to help get rid of their allergies.
All right, thank you so much, doctor. I know you're real busy this time of year, but we've been standing here the whole time with this beautiful skin behind us. You got to tell us about that before we go.
Actually, it's a little bit crazy story. This particular bear, I was sitting up in my tree stand in Manitoba, northern Canada, and he climbed my tree. He got about 6 feet away from me before I jumped up, and he jumped down, luckily, and then came back later, and I was able to get him. So.
Oh, all right. Great story, doctor. Thanks for sharing that with us. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to Fairview Park for allowing us this appointment to be able to come over and speak with you.
Anytime. Thanks.
Badcock Home Furniture and More is your home store, where you'll find great savings on new living room sets, sofas, love seats, recliners, and more. Badcock Home Furniture and More has great savings every day on bedding and bedroom sets. Shop Badcock Home Furniture and More for a great selection of dining room sets. And save every day on electronics and appliances at Badcock Home Furniture and More, 1927 Highway 441 South in Dublin. Call 275-3144 for more information, or stop by and see Wendy and Tim Sumner or any of their friendly staff today at Badcock and More Home Furniture Store, where no credit is ever refused.